This is Julie's story. She died of a heroin overdose when she was 20. Gender. Julie didn't play with girls' toys when she was growing up. She remembers she once tore her dress off. She loved trees. She wanted to be a boy because she thought life would be much easier. Sometimes people would say to her, "You're like a lad, you are." When she played with cars, climbed trees and wanted to ski electric, people would say, "They're boys' toys, what do you want them for?" School. Julie was aware of her sexuality when she was at school, but kept thinking, "It's a phase, I'll grow out of it." She was bullied because she was different. She didn't conform to everybody's idea of normal. She was also bullied because she was in care. The bullying affected her grades. It began in junior school and continued right up through high school until she left. She hated school and couldn't wait to leave. She said she would have liked some information about being gay when she was at school, and she kept expecting it to be mentioned. And she waited and waited, but it never was. College. Julie went to college, but fairly quickly dropped out. She said she wasn't out because I wasn't opening myself up to being vulnerable. Training. From college, Julie went on to a training course for painting, decorating, carpentry and bricklaying. She said she felt quite vulnerable on the course because it was full of blokes. One of them accused her of being a lesbian. She didn't feel able to talk to anybody. She dropped out. She wasn't out to any of the staff. Social services. Julie was in and out of care from 9 to 16. She usually ended up with the same foster mother, and she got on quite well with her, but didn't feel comfortable because at the time she was trying to pretend to be straight. On one time, she was made to share a bedroom with another young woman, and that made things really, really difficult. While she liked her foster mother, she made it quite clear that she didn't like the idea of lesbians. Needless to say, Julie never told her she was lesbian until after she'd left. GP. Julie wasn't out to a doctor. She said she nearly told him once, but decided not to because she didn't feel he would accept it. Mental health services. Julie first started having suicidal thoughts and long periods of depression when she was 13. She went to a doctor and he got her admitted to hospital. She tried to kill herself 12 or 13 times, including tablets, cutting her wrists and hanging. She was admitted to hospital several times, and on one of these occasions, after taking tablets when she was 14, she was told she was stupid and selfish. Julie had seen a psychiatrist, psychologist and an art therapist and was due to see somebody else, but kept putting off her appointment because the person she had to see was a man. None of them knew she was lesbian. She said she couldn't talk to them, and at the time she didn't want to anyway. On one of the occasions when Julie was in hospital, a psychiatric nurse asked her if she was lesbian. Julie said, "That was when it first started to click." Housing. Julie lived in a homeless hostel for a few months, but this wasn't a safe space. It was full of people who used drugs and who'd beat you up if they didn't like your ideas. She said they'd take the mick out of people on television who were gay, and this irritated her because at the time she was trying to come to terms with being gay herself. She added, "I think it pushed me down a bit, like I convinced myself even more to fit in with their views, because at first I thought, this isn't normal." Julie was in supported lodgings for a while. She didn't think to ask for a gay provider, and anyway, she wasn't sure about her sexuality at that time. But she said the staff were very supportive. When asked if it would have made a difference had she had a gay provider, she said, "Probably. It would have made a lot of difference because I ended up with somebody I didn't get on with." Drugs. Julie didn't drink much, but she had used drugs. She took heroin once when she was living in the homeless hostel. Another tenant threatened to bite her arms and legs if she didn't take it. That same girl used to bully Julie to give her money, and this went on for about 3 months. She told someone when she was due to leave the hostel, but the bully found out and threatened to kill her. Julie had been to the alcohol and drugs treatment centre for help, but she wasn't out. She said she didn't feel she could have come out. Youth service. Julie once went to a mainstream youth group and she went on trips with them. There was no information about being lesbian at the youth group, and Julie said she would have liked some because that was the time when she first started questioning her sexuality. Homosexuality was never discussed at the youth group, Julie said. It was all about being straight. The only information I was ever given at school, youth group or social services was about being straight and how to fit condoms. The Leaving Care Team. The Leaving Care Team was the one agency that gave Julie support regarding her sexuality. Julie came out to one of the workers. She said, "It made me feel good because she asked me if I wanted her to let the other staff know. That made it much easier." They were brilliant. They gave me loads of information via one of the workers who was an out lesbian. It was brilliant having an out worker because some of the stuff I can't talk to the others about, I can go and talk to her. She seems to understand me more than anybody. It's great. Julie added, however, "I still can't go into any depth with anybody, although I'm finding it a bit easier as time goes on." Coming out. Julie was about 12 when she first thought she might be lesbian, but she didn't actually come out until she was 18. At first it were like, am I or aren't I? Then it were a phase, but you can't have a phase for 6 years. That's because of the view that was put on me in foster care, that it's not normal and that you're a freak of nature and stuff like that. Then I thought, no, it's normal. Julie came out to her mum after coming out of hospital for depression. She said to her mum, who only had a 1-bedroom flat, you might not want to share a bed with me. That's fine. I'll sleep on the settee, whatever. But I've got something I want to tell you." Her mum said she didn't care. Julie was still a daughter and still the same person that she was before, and she still loved her. Julie also came out to her dad. He didn't say much, but she pointed out 2 of his sons were also gay. Since coming out, Julie says she's more at ease with herself and more relaxed, but added, "Every day I still go through the same mind games, am I or aren't I?" She said, "It's difficult being young and lesbian because you don't know what's what. You don't know who to talk to." Her worst coming out experience was with a foster mum, who said, and I quote, "What are you going to come out with next? It's a freak of nature. It's not normal. Makes me feel sick. Lesbians are even worse than gay men." Her foster mother told all of her family, which Julie didn't want. One of the children asked Julie at a party in front of all of the rest of the family whether she was lesbian. Julie said she wanted the ground to open up and swallow her up. She said she just walked out of the room thinking this was the best way to deal with it. This happened about a week after her father had died. Julie said her foster mum's response made her feel uncomfortable, but said she's coming round to the idea. She said she accepts me for who I am, but not for what I am. Not long after this, Julie died of a heroin overdose.